Count on me, don't be worried. Cast all your troubles away. Wherever you're going, just know that I'll be there. Count on me. Just look to me, and it will be alright. Just take a breath and look around, 'cause I have never ever let you down. My love for you will never fail. I'll be here forever.
Count on me, put on your smile. No need to frown, 'cause I'm here. Just look to me, and it will be you down. People come and they go,
I'll never
but
leave.
I'll be.
You can count on me.
everybody. This is David Evans from Washington, D.C. We are so happy and excited about a brand new spotlight today. We're going to be beaming it in, can you believe it, all the way from London, England. We have a queen on today, y'all. The queen is here, Queen Ebony, all the way from London, England. Hey, Ebony, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Well,
Great to be here. Great to
yeah,
be
the U.S. is. We've been waiting for you. All America has been waiting for you and waiting for this interview, Queen. We're so happy for everybody watching the Pick TV network, especially our friends from Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Paris, Peru, Argentina, Egypt, Canada, Ireland, West Africa, United Kingdom, Australia, all over the world, Germany, through Roku, the number one streaming device in the world, right here. This Roku allows us to beam it around the world with interpreters, and we're so happy today. Our spotlight is on London, England. Hey! Pick TV Network Spotlight. First of all, I want to thank you for coming on, Ebony, and your patience.
you.
We've been waiting for this. We have guests already chatting in about this interview today and say hello from New York popping. And hey, Nicole.
Hello.
Hey, Nicole. Love it up. Happy New Year. Ebony, let's get right into this interview today. I want to ask you about your life. You know, tell us about who is Ebony. Who is this beautiful queen?
Okay, so Ebony is my AKA. Actually, I'm known as Sandra. I am based in the UK, born in the UK, born bred in the UK, but my parents are of Jamaican descent. So yes, hi to all the Jamaicans out there. But I was born here in the UK. It's been an interesting experience because growing up here, even though people would regard me as being British or even English, but British is more the right expression. My background, being born into a Jamaican family, really almost made me a Jamaican because we ate Jamaican food, we had Jamaican rules. We had a strict upbringing, and it was very Christian and very Jamaican. So yeah, anybody who's Jamaican or Caribbean will understand what I'm talking about. They didn't spare the rod. Definitely not, or spoil the child. But I am from a family of 7.
Wow.
I'm number 4 of 7. So there are 3 before me and 3 after. So definitely 100% a middle child. But yeah, I don't know if I live up to the way people see middle children, but I definitely was a little rebel when I was younger. But yeah, it's a little bit about me. I'm really excited to be here. Definitely excited to be with you, David. Thank you so much for inviting me to actually be spotlighted. I am so super excited to be here. So thank you.
No, I love London. I've never been there before. My beautiful queen Yvette Evans has been there, but I've never been to London before. So this is a special interview across the water, across the world, from Washington, D.C., as you see, to the nation's capital, to England. I want to ask you about your goals. What are some of your goals for 2023?
So I've been working corporately for over 20 years. I'm actually someone who develops leaders in the workplace. So in the public sector and private sector, I'm regarded as an educator, maybe a trainer as well. But my job is really to support managers to be better managers. Yeah, I think that's a great job to do. I love it. I love the work that I do. But I decided this year, as I'm getting older, to really start to branch out and do things that are more entrepreneurial. So yes, I still have my day job, but I'm working out the day job. And some people may understand that, trying to get out the 9 to 5 to actually achieve some of the dreams that I have for myself. So one of the dreams I have this year, which I'm realizing just this week, it was a goal from last year, was to set up a masterclass. And my masterclass is really helping people to release their voice and speak more powerfully. So as someone who is a trained speaker, and I've spoken on many platforms. I felt like this is something that I could teach more people to do. Communication is really a difficult one for a lot of people in different communities. And so I'm happy to be bringing forward my masterclass, engaging lots of people from right across the world online and just seeing their growth and development. So I'm excited about the prospect of that. That's one of my main goals this year, and I'm happy to be kind of finally realizing it this week.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. It's so important for us to hear that. The goals for 2023 is amazing. Let's talk about health and fitness. And you being an educator, you being a person who is in front of folks, how important it is for you and everybody's watching and listening right now to take your health serious and your fitness serious, your health and your fitness.
Well, I got to say, health and fitness is one of my big priorities. When I was 50, I actually ran the London Marathon, and that was a massive achievement for me. I did it from the position of actually being a bit of a couch potato. That means I was sitting around, I was slim, I've always been slim, but I wasn't fit, I wasn't healthy. And it was my daughter, actually, my middle daughter, who wanted me to help her to achieve one of her goals, which was to lose some weight. So she dragged me out 5 o'clock in the morning. We were trying to run to the park, get fit. And it actually changed my life. I got into the running. I enjoyed it so much. I did a 5K, then a 10K, a few more 10Ks, and then did a half marathon and decided that eventually I would do a full marathon, which is a whole nother story because I got injured during the race. But that kind of drive for fitness has stayed with me. I think as we get older, we really have to look after our bodies. I'm happy to say I probably, I'm probably winning a bit in that area. I feel like because I really do work on it. I try and work out at least 3 times a week. I try and eat well. I don't try, I do eat well. Sleep is still a little challenging for me sometimes, but I'm really grateful that actually one of the things that I really focus on is making sure that each day I take my health seriously. And I know that, in the world that we live in, it is difficult, isn't it, to always prioritize your health because we're so busy, especially if you're entrepreneurial. You're busy, sending stuff out, interviewing clients, trying to keep up with everything, the day job, whatever you're doing. But your health really needs to come first. So I definitely prioritize my health over everything else going on in my life, because I think without wellness, health and wellness, you can't do anything. You really can't. Because the minute your health goes down, everything you've got in the pipeline, all those goals, all those dreams are going to be, very difficult to realize because you're just not well. So I really try and stay well. And I think the more well I am, the more I can perform in the work that I'm doing, the more I can deliver projects, the more I'm in the right frame of mind to work with people and develop them in the way that I want to and shape their future. So that's me. That's what I feel about health. I don't know about you, David, but I'm big on health and fitness.
For 50 years old, you looking beautiful. You queen. 50? I thought you was like 31, 32. Whatever you're doing, don't stop doing it.
I'm not actually 50. I'm actually older than 50. I was born in the 60s, but I'm not going to tell you exactly my age. But no, I'm not 50 anymore.
But you're looking beautiful. It's amazing. I want to thank Nicole. Keep popping in, Nicole. You're gonna win the opportunity to come on Pick TV Network. You can't balance your health. Yeah. Thank you. And it's amazing when you're connecting with your audience. You're connecting with the USA. You're connecting with America. So we're beaming it from Washington D.C. all the way to London, England. All of these comments keep coming in. Ebony, I just love it. I just love this spotlight interview with you. Now, also, relationships. Let's
Cool.
talk about relationships. And again, we were talking off the show record and behind the scenes about your parents, and I want to send you my condolences because my mother and father is gone, and without them,
Well,
I wouldn't be nothing. I'm a product of John H. Evans and Esther R. Evans. I'm a product of my family, and I have I'm the baby boy of. They don't like you to say baby no more. I'm the last boy. I'm the last family member. Is Kenny, Bobby, who's gone to heaven, Junior, who's still here, David. That's me. I'm the baby boy, you know. And then
oh
my
wow.
uh, yeah, I have we
Well,
have 9
I've never
members.
been a baby, only for a short time, because my sister came when I was 3 years old, and then 2 more babies came. So
Wow.
I can remember being a baby for a short time. Pretty much had to grow myself.
I like being a baby. You get spoiled. You can tell on people. You know, me and Darlene, my baby sister, and we can always tell on my sister Esther, Edie, Elaine, Brenda, before she went to heaven. We will always be the ones who can run on the side. You know, so I love it. And to get spoiled, because if you're the baby, a lot of time you get spoiled. So
Yeah, I'm still waiting to be spoiled, although
well, let's talk about relationships though. And talk about relationships.
so my mom and dad were married for 64 years. My dad passed away in 2020, April 2020. They had a great relationship, but normal, like most people, ups and downs, I guess. But it was a stable household, and we were brought up as Christians, and sang at church, recited, did all the things we did. When I was 17, nearly 18, I left home. I actually decided I'd run away. And it wasn't like, I just waited for that time when I could get my independence, and I was off. I think at the time I was kind of misguided in my decision, but I was that young person who felt like I wanted to see the world. And so I went off with somebody that wasn't a Christian and had a whole nother life and relationship. That relationship ended around 2005. We had 4 children together. They are now quite grown up. He actually passed away about 2 months ago. So that's a very recent bereavement. But we weren't together for a number of years. So but even so, as anyone knows, with the next partner, you're always connected if you have children. So yeah, it's interesting. I have had a couple of relationships that I thought may go the distance, but for different reasons, they didn't. But I am still kind of optimistic that, I may find Mr. Right. I don't know. If it doesn't happen in this lifetime, I'm kind of fine with it as well. But I did do some great things, I think, when I ended that relationship. One of the things I did in 2010 was to start a radio show. So initially it was on a local station, and then we went on to Blog Talk Radio, which is actually an American hosting. So I made a lot of friends in America. And I had a lot of conversations about relationships. Every question practically you could think of over the space of around 6 years, we covered where relationships were concerned. So I used that platform to actually learn a lot about relationships, because I think when you go into a relationship when you're young and it doesn't work out, you don't really get the chance to learn, why. And also, if you're coming out of a relationship after a long time and going out back into the world of dating, you need to kind of understand how the landscape works. What are people thinking? What are the male expectations? And can I fit into that? So I used it as a learning opportunity. And I love relationships. I love the opposite sex. I don't have any problem with it. I just think in this world, with all the technology and the different ways that people can meet people and be with people, It can be difficult. It can be challenging, but I think you've got to find that person who's aligned to you and in your mindset. And that may be the struggle for a lot of single women. I can't speak for the single men. I can only speak for my own group. Yeah, you want to find that person who is aligned. And I think as you get older, maybe you become a bit more insular. You know, your needs become different. You may be also, I think, like me, you've got a bit more used to being on your own. But at the same time, you know, you're meeting people who are in the same position, or they may have been widowed, or, you know, and they've got to get over the loss of a partner. You know, there's so much going on when you get older and you're trying to enter relationships. But I definitely think it's a great thing, and it's a great topic to talk about. So thank you.
No, thank you, Queen. I'm just like, when you were saying you were single, my whole phone stopped blowing up. You know, all of these men from America. I have so many friends who are looking for a beautiful queen like you. I mean, I can go on my phone Rolodex right now and blow this thing up. This queen is single and looking for her Prince Charming. And I'm telling you, all these brothers here who I know, I can go down the list right now and call some names and say, wait a minute, that queen, she's looking for a king. I'm her king. I'm a prince. So you're beautiful. Wow. Let's talk about faith, because there's a lot of people out today, believers and non-believers, and I don't discriminate, but just talk about your faith. Let's talk about your faith.
Yeah, so when I left home in, oh God, I can't remember which year now. It was a long time ago. I think it was around 1980. But when I left, or was it 81? I can't remember when it was now. It was a long while ago. But I also left home, but also left the church. I feel like the church left me as well. But I left, and I decided church life wasn't really for me. So for a long time, well over 20 years, I would visit church, but I wasn't into church. I wasn't a member. I wasn't active in church, although previously I'd been in the choir. I'd sang in a group with my sisters, but I left all that life behind when I decided to embark on my own journey. I don't know. I don't know that I fell out of love with God, but I fell out of love with the church. And I think it was because of the rules. You know, I think when you're young, what you see, you don't see so much necessarily how God is a great part of your life. What you see are rules. And I think what I saw was a lot of rules, a lot of structure and constructs that I didn't necessarily completely agree with. But I saw it was fine for those people who wanted to do it. But for me, it wasn't for me. So I think in 2016, having been away from the church for a long time, I decided maybe I'd have a look at coming back. And I'd read a book called The Shack. I don't know how many of you have read the book called The Shack. And I try to remember the author now, William somebody, but I can't remember the exact name of the author. But if you look up the book, The Shack, you'll know it's a book about a family who go away on holiday, and one of the kids, while the dad is looking after the children and the mum's gone to do something, the child gets abducted and is killed. And he goes into this kind of loss of faith. Interestingly, in the book, he confronts God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And finally, he decides to come back to his faith. But it is a lot of conversations with God and the Holy Spirit and Jesus. So I felt like when I read that book, after my kids actually sent the book to me, they were like, Mom, I think you need to read this book. It is about you. And I was like, no, it's not about me. That story doesn't represent me. Actually, it's not even a real story. But the sentiments of the book were the same. I'd kind of got to that stage where I had kind of lost my faith. I didn't know if, I knew God was real for me, and I knew he'd come through for me in a lot of ways. But my fight was not with him so much. It was with the church. And I had to work out how I could go forward with God and also put into context my experience of my life around this relationship with the church. I think the church won. I came back in 2016. I got rebaptized and became part of that fellowship again. I think it wasn't a hard decision once I worked out that, listen, God had never let me down. He wasn't the problem. The problem was probably me and being young and wanting to do things my way, not necessarily God's way. And so when I brought myself back on board and kind of, stopped thinking about other people and their effect on what I believe, I could then make a choice, which was an informed one about what I wanted to do with my life going forward. And so I decided I wanted to be part of a faith structure, but maybe in a different way to how I did it before. And we were talking about goals earlier. One of my goals in coming back to faith was to help others who are younger, particularly younger people, to understand the journey they're on when they're in faith, to help people who may be struggling with the rules, to see that really it is ultimately about that relationship you have with God. It is that connection. It's the testimony that you can give about God and how he sustains your life. It isn't so much about, having to attend church every week and services and everything else and being there 3 or 4 times a week and being almost pharisaical in your response to God. But it is about having that real relationship where I can say, I know what God does for me because I speak to him. I connect with him. I know what he does every day. I could actually tell you so many stories. I mean, recently I decided that I needed a new job. And this was before my dad passed away. So maybe this is a connection to him. I don't know if it was his prayers or mine. But anyway, about, a year before my dad passed, a year before he got sick, because then we looked after him for about another 5 years. So a year before he got sick, I was in my kitchen one day and I just asked God. I was like, God, I need a better job. I need a better place to live. But, I need something that's close to home. At the time, I knew my parents needed my help. My kids being a bit older, I was probably the person in the best place to help out. So even if it was ironing and hoovering, I decided, look, I'm going to come home and help out. But I needed a job that complemented that. And they weren't in need of real help in the big way at that time because, when I came home, I was actually like the Samaritan. I came home and I was like when the Bible talks about the one sheep that God leaves, he leaves all the 99 and he comes for the one. I was like the one coming home. So I came home, I was treated like a princess, I was looked after, I was able to work. I didn't have a partner at the time, so it was fine. And I helped out my mom and dad and helped them in, just dealing with getting older and being able to cope with simple things like washing and hoovering. But I hoovered and washed and they did the cooking. My mom did the cooking and my dad just spoiled me. So I did get a little bit of spoiling. There you go. But when I was looking for this new job, I didn't know that God just answers like that when you request something. So I remember standing in the kitchen one day and saying, God, just as simple as this, God, I need a better job. I need to earn a certain amount. It needs to be no more than 30 minutes from where I live. And, it needs to be perfect for what I do in terms of my skills. I just spoke out aloud and then I left it. I thought, oh, that's it. I've said it. I've put it out there. My phone rings. Within a minute of finishing that conversation. And the person on the phone says, I have a job for you. It was 30 minutes away. It was just the salary I wanted. And it was perfect because as I got the job, it was within that time my dad then had a stroke and I was in the best position to look after him. So as a man of God, I think maybe his prayers got me to be in the right place at the right time for him, or it could have been my prayers. But somehow God got it right for all of us. So that was my story.
Wow. I want to say thank you. That was amazing. We're going to take a commercial break. And when I come back, I want to talk a little bit about you going out and coming back And now you're stronger, you're wiser and better, because there's millions of people who are watching you right now around the world who are in the same state that you're in. You know, they're trying to make a transition, thinking about coming back. They're not sure. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
This is a plea to our brothers to stop killing one another. This is to the powers that be. I want you to realize we're part of God's family. We can no longer ignore what's happening in the streets. I can't walk down the street without you harassing me. I'm doing nothing wrong. Why do you need to see my ID? If you walk in my shoes, you wouldn't treat me the way you do. A little empathy, and you see I'm not your enemy, yeah. All I'm saying, from a different mother. I don't want no trouble, my sister. No, from a different place. The skin that I'm in makes you hate me from within. Do my dress make you scared? Why you feel I should be dead? I don't have a gun, it's just my phone. Please leave me alone. I'm just trying to make it home. Oh, all I'm saying, from a different mother. I don't want no trouble. You are my sister. Oh, from a different kill me. Please remove your knee. I'm trying to go home to my family. So please, don't kill me. Yeah, yeah. Please, don't shoot me. I wanna go home to my family. Yeah. Please, don't harm me. Yeah. I wanna go home to my family. Yeah, yeah. Please, don't kill me.
Hello, everybody. We're right back here again. Pick TV Network special presentation. We're beaming it in from Washington, D.C. all the way to London, England. We have the Queen on that everybody's talking about, and she's single, and my phone is blowing up. Yep. You said it. You said it. You made me Prince Charming. So I got a lot of brothers in here. I don't want to call them names, but they calling me. Yeah, they calling me. So they said, put her email back up there. Put her website back up there. So I'll get it for the Kings. Folks, you're watching a special presentation on the Pick TV Network. Queen, I want to ask you about what is Hidden Gems Academy? What, when people see this, they don't know, so you need to inform us and educate us.
Okay, so about a year ago, having done so many shows on Blog Talk Radio, I decided I wanted to go in a new direction. So the direction was really to think about how I could empower leaders in our community, in our world. How could I uncover people who are hidden because they're not celebrities, they're not A-listers, but they are doing some amazing work for the community. They're really changing lives. So I wanted to bring out those people, uncover the hidden gems. And that's why it's called Hidden Gems Academy. So Hidden Gems Academy is really about, not just uncovering hidden gems, but also helping people to speak, helping people to become more confident in their work, in their relationships with each other, in work circles, and as entrepreneurs. So it's about developing leaders. And because I was very lucky to be a leader for many years, and also to come from two leaders. My mom and dad were both leaders. My mom was a leader in the home, and she is a poet. Although she is a seamstress, my mom can preach. She does all sorts. So I saw that leadership from my mom, but my dad was also a formidable leader. And his name was Martin Luther Rodney. He got his name from Martin Luther, the reformer. So not Martin Luther King. They were born around similar time. So my dad really was one of those people. He was very charismatic. He could walk into a room and transform that room. He could speak in front of thousands of people. He was never daunted by an audience. And I learned a lot from him. And so what I've learned, and also what I have studied and how I have worked on different platforms, has taught me how to help and support and develop leaders. So this Hidden Gems Academy is about leadership. It's about helping leaders to be better leaders. It's about helping to sharpen minds for service. So that's my slogan. I have a YouTube channel that's doing really well. It only started about 6 months ago. And I also have a program, which I talked about earlier, which goes out for the first time this Thursday. It's a free program for leaders, but it will become paid later. But that's all part of the initiatives around the Hidden Gems concept.
Wow, thank you. I love it. Hidden Gems. I just love that title. You got to bring me on your show. I would love to come on your show.
Yes, why not?
I'm honored. Folks, you're watching the Pick TV Network Spotlight, and this spotlight is shining right now from Washington, D.C. all the way to London, England. We're up close and personal with Sandra, a.k.a. Ebony. The whole world loves you. We fall in love with you in the United States. Sandra, I want to ask you about your book. You got a book release coming up. Tell everybody about this book release coming up. The voice speaking powerfully.
Well, the book is How to Release Your Voice and Speak Powerfully. So as I said, my Hidden Gems concept is about helping leaders to be better leaders. But one of the things I found is that a lot of people's voices, particularly because of lockdown, and maybe because of their experiences in the workplace or in the home, sometimes our voices have been curtailed, they've been annihilated sometimes. We don't feel like we're strong enough to speak out. So the book is really about helping people with those skills, the skills that I've learned along the way around public speaking. It also has a lot of stories in about my life. I have so many stories. So I decided to filter through the book and all the concepts of the book and the learning to put in those stories so people could read the stories and understand where I'm coming from, and then understand how to do the work. A workbook goes with the book as well, how to do the work to get them where they need to go, where public speaking is concerned. So for me, public speaking is not just about standing on a big platform. It's also about being able to have those conversations with family, those conversations with your children, to be able to communicate well in the workplace with colleagues, with friends, most importantly. So there's a lot of, areas where we can make shifts. And I'm hoping that the book will help people to make that shift, the shifts they need to make. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Amazing. When I hear about this book, I'm going to get a copy, and I know everybody else going to get a copy of this book. And it's going to be one of the #1 books on Pick TV Network on the Book Fair channel. I'm excited, about you and everything that you're doing. So can we talk a little bit about London, England? I've never been to London before. The changing of the guards, the Queens.
The Queen. The Queen is now gone. She's no longer with us. But she's for all of my life, the Queen was the Queen. And so it's a little bit strange now to be talking about the King of England, because I've never experienced a king before. But England has a lot of unique history. And of course, I think Americans, you guys are probably more excited than about the history than we are, who live in the country. So I have been to Buckingham Palace several times, but I'd walk past and it wouldn't be a big deal to me because I've always lived in London. But for you guys coming over, yes, there's lots. I mean, we now have Meghan Markle, who is part of the royal family. So that makes it even more interesting for you guys from across the pond. But I think you have to come to London and see it. It is what would I say? It's a pot of different personalities and cultures. We have so many different cultures here. We have Hispanics, we have Chinese, we have Caribbean people from Africa, all different parts of Africa are here. You have a lot of Asian people that have been here for a long time. So give me 1 second, sorry.
Folks, you're watching a special presentation all the way from London, England. This Queen is on, and I'm so happy for all of you who are watching. This is a special interview that is amazing. Those who are watching right here, we know the Pick TV Network is the People's Investment Channels. And if you'd like to be a part of our shows and programs, we would love for you to be on our network, on Pick TV Network. We have a whole new show lineup, new channels, new programs on the Pick TV Network. And those who watch me right now, all you have to do, if you want to be on TV, is call 202-505-2837. We can beam you in anywhere around the world. As you see right here, we beamed it in from Washington, D.C., all the way to London, England. So we got place for you on Pick TV Network. Let's go back over to London, England with the Queen. Hello, Queen. You're back with us.
Yes, I'm back. Apologies, my laptop was playing, but okay, fine now.
Yeah, so you were talking about us coming to London, England. I can't wait. Now I have a reason to come over to London. Matter of fact, in DC, it's 5:57. It's like 6 o'clock DC. What time is it there in London, England?
So it's now 10:54. That's almost 11 o'clock here at night.
Wow.
So yes, it's we're like 5 hours or more ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a different time. And also I think the culture in the UK is very different from the United States. I think our language is slightly different. I always feel like I'm in another world when I'm speaking to Americans. So understanding your nuances, some of your catchphrases, your humor, something that I've had to learn over the years, because actually we have a very different humor and culture here. So you have to come to London to experience London. I think you can't really understand England vicariously through other people, because I can tell you a lot about it, but unless you come here, you experience the weather, the people, you know, the food, you will not see the difference. But it is a massive difference, I think. As well, you guys are like, England, it probably could fit into the US about 4 or more times maybe, because your place, you're so big compared to us. We're only an island. The British Isles is an isle. But you know, when you look at the US, I hear people say that they travel 10 hours maybe on the road. Like, that doesn't happen here. Like, to get from one part of the country to the other is probably max about maybe 7-8 hours. So you know that when you say in a state you are traveling for so long, that's, to us, we can't understand how you do that. I'd most likely fly if I had to go that distance. But then I hear Americans say, "Oh, I drive." Who does that? It's a long way. But I get it. It's different. It's different country. And you know, the way that you guys live your lives will be different. Even the food is very, although we have burgers here and stuff, and American food, because your culture has a lot of influence on the British culture. We often say that Americans are our cousins, because you guys, politically, we're very close always. But I think we are still very much two different nations. And you'd have to come here to get to know us more. Or we need to know you.
Yeah, I can't wait, you know, United States, and for you to be on in London, England right now, being through Pick TV Network. This is your first time on our network, first time on Pick TV. Tell me, how does it feel to be on television with Pick TV Network, your first time on with us? How does it feel?
It is very exciting. It's very exciting. I wasn't sure what to expect. I'm hoping now you're going to give me a slot, right? I've made all this effort to talk to you. Like, you need to give me a slot on your TV network. And if you're listening, the people who are listening, come on, you need to tell him I need a slot on this TV network.
You got it.
Yeah, it's great to connect the two worlds and to see what you do. It's a lovely outfit. I didn't know anything about Pick TV until we spoke on Clubhouse. But it's amazing the work that you're doing. And I love the ads. I was listening very intently to the ads and thinking, wow, I feel this is a good movement, because it aligns with my faith, because we talked a little bit about faith before.
Yeah.
And I am quite big on faith and faith in action, because I think one of your adverts was about a young man dealing with the problems of gun crime and how the police perceive Black men. That for me is a passion. Even here in the UK, we have issues with Black men who've died in prison, have died in police custody. So, you know, definitely on my heart is young people. I've worked in the past, volunteered for an organization actually that has a couple of Americans, I think, or at least one American who's a director, that's based in the UK, and it's called Youth at Risk. So I volunteered for them for quite a few years. So, you know, I really believe that there's a work to be done, maybe across the pond, you know, where we can address some of the issues that you've highlighted in your adverts. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. It's been great to be here.
No, you are so 5 stars for you. You know, you make. It's beautiful for you to represent London, England, and us to connect to America for our international show. So yeah, I'm in. So we got an international show, Pick TV Network, all the way beaming to London, England. So that's an honor for us. Queen, we are so happy again for all of you. You got to get your shots out to some people who watching from over there. You got friends, you got family members, you got whoever.
Yeah, I want to shout out to all my friends in the UK, all my family who will be watching, my children, most importantly, who are probably thinking they've got work tomorrow. Like, when is mum gonna finish this conversation? But yeah, they are my biggest supporters. So big shout out to them. a shout out to my mom, who is turning 90 this year, and she's in Jamaica and very active and enjoying her new home. She's just moved to a new area in Jamaica and, properly resettled in Jamaica, because she used to do 6 months there and 6 months here. So shout out to her and my siblings who are in Jamaica looking after my mom. Couldn't do it without them. And everybody I know, all my friends and all the people who are my business colleagues here, just shouting out to them as well. And thank you for watching this broadcast, and great to be a part of this network right now and talking to David, who is an amazing host. Amazing.
Thank you, Queen. You will be back. You talk like that. You keep talking like that. You'll have a show. You'll have a channel. Keep talking like that. People, we watching the PIC TV Network special presentation spotlight. This spotlight is beaming all the way from Washington, D.C., all the way to London, England, with the Queen over there. Ebony is there, and we're excited. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about some fun time on PIC TV Network. This is going to be something that you've never seen before. Don't touch that dial. You're watching the PIC TV Network. We'll be right back after this.
Yes, you can achieve a college education right here in your own community. Harcum College's ACE program at the Deliverance Evangelistic Church offers associate degree programs that can help you land a good job and improve your quality of life.
I like Harcum and Debbie because I can continue my education.
The teachers are great. The atmosphere is great.
It's all possible through iLead and Harcum.
Call now or check out our Facebook page at Harcum College at Deliverance Evangelistic Church.
It's the biggest. Yeah, so much. She want the audio. She want the audio.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I am your host, Izumi, and we are reporting live from Los Angeles, California, and we are on PIC TV Network on Roku TV. And if you're not tuning in right now, you better tune in, because you do not want to miss the latest and hottest indie music videos, fashion, celebrity news, interviews, and so much more for you guys that we're going to bring a home for all indie artists and all genres of music. So we are the streets, we are the culture, and we are the content. Stay tuned, Roundtable TV.
Demo, bitch.
They say your eyes are the windows to the soul. They're also the windows to your health, because they let eye doctors see what's going on inside. Think about this. A comprehensive eye exam can be an early detector of serious health problems, like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Shouldn't you see your eye doctor yearly? Go to thinkaboutyoureyes.com to learn more and for a list of local eye doctors. It could help save more than your vision.
Hello, everybody. Back here on the PIC TV Network, here with the Queen, that I say, Sandra, a.k.a. Ebony, here from London, England. And Queen, this is a special segment on PIC TV Network. I want you to relax, take a deep breath, and I'm going to ask you some questions. This is uncut, uncensored, folks, and it's called PIC TV Network Fun Time. Queen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is for those who are watching. She don't know and you don't know, but I know. So this is a special fun time on PIC TV Network. We call this the Fun Time on PIC TV Network, where you are on with us and we want to ask you some fun questions. So growing up in Jamaica, Queen, what was your favorite meal? What was your favorite meal growing up?
So growing up, I grew up in London. And my favorite meal was ackee and saltfish and rice and peas.
Rice and peas. All right. Okay. So That's good. What is your favorite tea? Your favorite tea?
Well, my favorite football team was Spurs or Tottenham football team because I was born in Tottenham. I was actually born about 3 minutes from the stadium. My parents actually still have a house in Tottenham. And yeah, so I have to support Tottenham. I couldn't support anybody else. My school, my first two schools were right across the road from the stadium. So I would, in the middle of the week, we'd see the players preparing for, the weekend matches. We would be the girls, the groupies that stood there waving at the coaches. They just ignored us most of the time. But we'd be going, yay! to them. But yeah, I love the Spurs, and they are a good team. They're in the Premiership here in London.
Wow. Okay. Now let me ask you the same question. What is your favorite tea? TEA. Tea. Black.
Well, I don't drink tea, like carbonated tea. I drink herbal teas.
Okay.
So peppermint tea is my favorite.
Okay.
I also like moringa tea. I don't know if you've had moringa tea. Yeah, any herbal teas are really good for me.
Herbal teas. Okay, y'all hear that? You hear it in America? Now, okay, let's talk about if you could go anywhere in the world and live, or any place, this Pick TV Next Fun Time, what would it be? Any place in the world to live for 1 year, 1 year. All expenses paid. Everything is yours for 1 year.
Okay. If I could, I'd want to go to Ghana.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'd want to go to Ghana or Ethiopia, those two. Only because of the history, the connection that we have as Africans from the diaspora. Those are our roots. Ghana, Nigeria, that's where our roots are. We were taken as slaves from those areas. And I definitely would want to relocate if I could for a year in either of those countries. But Ghana is my preference. I also like the idea, I don't know Sierra Leone, but when I was young, because of these slanty eyes, people used to say to me, are you from Sierra Leone? And I was like, no connection whatsoever. But I don't know if there's a historical connection there, but I definitely would love to spend a year in Africa. Yes, if I could, all expenses. So come on, get your checkbook out, David.
Yeah. Well, you're a Pick TV Next Fun Time. We're gonna make this happen. Okay. Now, if you were on the island by yourself for 3 years, what 3 music artists you listen to? Give me 3 music artists you listen to. Your favorite 3 artists or favorite 3 songs.
Okay, so Bob Marley, definitely. Okay. I also have a real love for Peter Tosh, actually, as an artist. I do have a real love for him. His music, because he's the rebel music is there. I also love Aretha Franklin. So I think, for the history and because she was one of the greatest singers in the world, definitely Aretha. I could listen to Aretha all day, every day. I know there are new artists that are coming up like Jennifer Hudson, who I also love. But I think Aretha's the original. And you can't get better than the original.
All right. You said Bob Marley. Bob Marley is one of the greatest singers of all time.
Oh, yeah.
The greatest. One of the greatest singers of all time. Bob Marley, y'all. I got to agree with you. 3 years. Woo! That song is just like, you can just go there and just relax all day long. And to see him perform, woo! Oh my goodness. That's it. Now, when you said Bob Marley, that's like, you took it away. I could live on the island for 3 years with Bob Marley. And then you also said Aretha Franklin. Alexa, three songs by Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin is one of the greatest legends of all times. Here's one of her songs too. Wow. Queen Evans saying, enjoy this interview thoroughly. All right. DC love coming in for you, Queen.
Thank you.
We even got people from different religions, brothers, coming in. We embrace you, man. It's all good. Yeah. You know that song?
Yes, of course I do.
Wow. We gotta get you singing too. Hey everybody, you watch the Pick TV Network. This is called Fun Time. This is the Queen's first time on Pick TV Network. And every time we bring somebody on for the first time, it's uncut, uncensored. So she don't even know the questions I'm asking her, but she's responding real good. Okay, Queen, let me do a couple more before we close out. If you could appear in any movie, past, present, or future, any movie, what movie would you appear in? If you could be in any movie.
Oh,
what
that's
kind?
hard because I'm not really a movie person.
Okay.
But I do love The Matrix.
Ooh.
I love that movie.
That's a movie right there.
That was a time changer. That was a time shifter and a mind shifter for sure.
Wow.
It definitely made a lot of people think.
That's a big one. Okay, let's go to another one. If you could meet any person that you've never met before, any superstar, any person, president, anybody that you never met before, what two persons would you like to meet? Past, present, or future, if they can be alive or dead?
Michelle Obama.
Okay. Okay. Who else? I gotta say Oprah because Oprah is the queen of TV. She is the queen. So yeah, Oprah, and it would be Michelle. Michelle, because I think Michelle has really transformed the way that we look at first ladies. She really has. She was really a superb first lady, and she represented at the highest level. I have so much respect for her. She's one of the smartest ladies that there are. You know, she knows how to conduct herself, and she speaks amazingly. I listen to her speeches, and I'm like, yeah, okay, go Michelle. Her tour, she's been on this tour with her book, and I definitely need to get the book. I haven't got the book yet, but yeah, lots of respect for both those ladies. Oprah, of course, she's historically great. She's been doing it from a young age. I used to watch her chat shows, and definitely she has always been for me a bit of a role model in terms of that's a person I want to be when I grow up. Yeah.
But yeah, Michelle and Oprah, those are two of the great people. That I also loved Maya Angelou, but Maya's gone, but her work still lives on. But those living legends, I would love to meet.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Queen. Michelle Obama, I met her. She came to our job at HUD, United States Housing and Urban Development. I saw her twice, was in the same room with her. I didn't get a chance to shake her hand, but I did take a picture with her of her while she was there in the same room at HUD. Wow, I did shake her husband's hand.
Oh, he's amazing as well.
It was amazing because they were having a big event. He came to HUD, and I didn't know how all these people was going to sit in the room because I was like, we only can seat 1,200 people in here. How in the world the president goes? So what they did, took all the chairs out, made 6,000 people standing in the room, and I stood near the door because I knew he had to come in this way, he had to go out that way. There was no secret ways, so I stood near the door, and he shook my hand. It felt like cotton. I never felt something so soft when the president shook my hand. I recorded it. I didn't wash my hand for like a week. I said, the president shook my hand. I was so happy. But if I could meet somebody, it would be Cicely Tyson. I definitely would like to meet her because she's one of the greatest persons. With her integrity and not accepting roles that didn't make us look positive. Cicely Tyson, this is one of the greatest queens of all. And I will say Nelson Mandela. I got so many people that I'm inspired by. One of the greatest minds of all, Nelson Mandela, is his story it will live on in the history of us. So let's go to.
I was going to say, you mentioned Nelson, but I remember when I was 14, cutting school and going up into London and actually protesting for his freedom. So when he came out of prison, that was one of the greatest days for me. I just think that was amazing, and such an awesome thing for the world to see. So there's, that was one of the lifetime things that I was so glad that I was around to actually see him walking out of prison. That was an emotional moment I will never forget.
Wow, yeah, Queen. I'm just so happy. You watch the Pick TV Network Fun Time. This is a part of the show. We just have some fun and asking her some wonderful questions. Okay, Queen, let's go to 2 more, and we will be wrapping you up for this interview. So we talked about.
I'm going to do 2 more, and I get the show if I answer them both. What are you saying?
Yeah, 2 more. You get 2 more. So let's talk about what was the worst job you ever had? The worst job you ever had?
The worst job? My first job in social housing. So I worked as a trainee development officer, and this was a long time ago, back in the 80s. But I for the first time, I experienced racism in the workplace. The first time I understood what it was like to be treated less than my colleagues, my peers. And it was a fight that I enjoyed, because I remember something I did, which was probably, it wouldn't be allowed now. We wouldn't do it now. But I remember backing up my manager in the ladies' the bathroom, you guys called the bathroom, okay? I backed her up and I said to her, I know where you live. So you better change. You need to change. And she was like, oh, okay. And from that day on, I never got any more harassment. But I realized that, at that time, we didn't have the laws in place. We didn't have the things in place to protect minorities. We now have a lot more law, but we have a lot of subtle racism and discrimination. And so the fight goes on. You guys will have it in your country too, I'm sure. For people of color to be able to be seen and to be recognized and to be treated as an equal part of this society. And for our work to be recognized, most importantly, the stuff we do, because we bring a lot to this world. So I'm all about, making sure that, our leaders are representative of our communities, and that we all shine and we all grow and we get the chance to be the best that we can be on any platform, in anywhere in the world, wherever we are.
Wow. All right, Queen. This is your last question. This is like a 2-part question, Queen. Y'all watching the Fun Time on Pick TV Network. After the interview, we have fun time with the first time guest. Queen, okay. Now you got to say, my name is Queen. And when you say your name, Queen Ebony, and I am a blank woman, and I look for what in a man?
So I am Queen Ebony. I look for integrity, respect, love, honesty, friendship, partnership, care, affection. I'm not one of those people. I know people use this whole thing about being a queen and whatever. I'm not, someone who wants to be treated as anything that I'm not. I think if you're a queen, you got to live up to it, right? But I really believe that we treat each other well, because we only have a very short time in this life. And when it's gone, it's gone. So, every day is valuable and people are valuable. And let's treat each other well, because, we only get this one chance at life. So that's me. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Queen. Hey, you made it through the interview. You made it. Pick TV Spotlight. We have been shining the spotlight on this beautiful, wonderful woman of faith, wonderful love. And I'm excited, because I knew this was going to be a special interview. You know, when we beaming it all the way from Washington, D.C. to London, England, I knew something special was going to happen to do this across the water. And I want to say thank you, first of all.
Oh,
you're going to come back. You're going to do a show.
Yes.
It's going to be an international show on Pick TV Network. We
Oh.
got a lot of love and comments coming in there. We got Nicole all the way from New York popping in, New York saying we loving on you from New York.
Thank you.
We got people from different religions. Look at my man, he coming on saying we don't discriminate. No, we got Coach Yvette Evans. She's from DMV. She's the queen of the
you.
Yes, enjoyed it, and others who want to watch the repeat. Again, I love your interview. Matter of fact, I love it so much. We're gonna play this for 30 days. How's that? We're gonna play this on. We're gonna play this on Pick TV Network 30 days. We're gonna repeat it and show it again. And those who are watching right now, folks, please take a moment to support this network. Pick TV Network is your network. And we're on all social media platforms. Those who are watching on Facebook, thank you. LinkedIn, thank you. YouTube, thank you. Twitch, right now, thank you. Pick TV Network 1000, thank you for everybody watching. And get involved by supporting this network. All you have to do is to go to we're gonna put it up there in a second. We go to the scan, the QR code right above you. Show you how you can come on and get the shows and program. Point to there you go. Look at Queen. Point to that QR code. Scan that QR code. You can be on Pick TV Network. Our shows are open. Programs are open. We have special programs for you. If you can cook, we have a cooking channel. We have a travel channel. If you like to travel and talk about where you're going and where you've been. We have the special spotlight on Pick TV Network. We have a movie channel if you do movies. We have a music channel if you do music. We have a business channel. We have a health channel. We have so many channels for you on Pick TV Network. And we're growing. And we're looking for everybody to support our network. Queen, this has been a beautiful program. I'm excited. I can't wait until you come back on again. Thank you. And thank everybody for watching the Pick TV Network. Our network is all about you. Queen, go get some rest. Get some beauty rest. Hey, listen. When your phone start ringing because you said you're single, you said you're looking for the king. Look, don't blame me, because I know you're gonna get a lot of emails popping in when they see this beautiful woman saying she's single, looking for the right person to come along from England. Come on, Queen. I got my brothers right now saying, give me that number, man. I can't do it. You gotta go to watch the network. You gotta watch the show.
They need to, number one, have a passport. Okay, so get a passport. Make sure. I know there's a lot of Americans that don't have one or don't think they need one, but you're gonna need a passport. Okay, so you have to travel to me because I'm not traveling if you don't travel, right? Okay, so we need that. But I want to say thank you, David, so much for having me. Pick TV is the best TV network in the world.
Wow. Wow, thank you, Queen. Hey, did y'all brothers hear that? She said you gotta have a passport. Y'all better scan that QR code. The Queen said you gotta go through the passport to get to me. I was like, okay. Two beans. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Pick TV Network. We're excited about everybody and watching our shows. We just beamed it in from Washington, D.C. all the way to London, England. And we thank you for your support. Thank you for your prayers. Until we come back again, we'll see you next time on the Pick TV Network. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
John. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Maya.
And I'm Darius.
And we have to talk about something.
It's bullying.
When people think of bullying, they think of kids getting shoved into lockers or having their heads flushed in a toilet. But the truth is, bullying can be a lot more complicated than that.
Bullies use their power to hurt or control others. And they might make you feel unsafe in places where you should feel protected.
And that's not okay. Your school, sports teams, and after-school clubs have to be safe spaces for everyone. There was a time when I didn't feel welcome at school. Some girls that I thought were my friends had decided I wasn't cool enough for them. Everywhere I went, they either laughed at me, made fun of me, or ignored me altogether. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, there was a time when I didn't feel safe at school. I started to dread coming to football practice because one of my teammates would always take the drills too far. It didn't seem like anyone noticed. I mean, the coach was too busy focusing on the whole team to see me being bullied.
No one ever has the right to hurt you or make you feel unsafe.
The problem is, bullying is hard to stop. And that's because most people's first reaction to bullying is to ignore it. You may feel like it will go away, but the problem with ignoring it
is that it won't stop, and it might even get worse. Maybe you're embarrassed, or you want to believe that it's not a big deal.
Or maybe you're afraid that telling will make it worse, or that whoever you need to tell won't understand, or be able to help.
But trust us, because we've been there. If you're being bullied, there's only one way to deal with it.
Stop, walk away, and tell an adult. Stop taking the abuse.
Get yourself away from the situation.
And go talk to an adult you trust. Tell them everything.
Parents, teachers, counselors, and coaches' first priority is your safety. Believe me, there are adults that want to help you.
Bullies might scare you out of telling, but if you tell an adult, the bullying is more likely to stop.
The adults in our lives won't tolerate bullying, but we can't tolerate it either. We have to stand up for each other, and we all know some kids get it the worst.
Last year, a friend of ours started feeling unwelcome and unsafe at school. He was being bullied for weeks just for being different and having different interests than some of the other kids at school.
We didn't want to see our friend get hurt or feel like he didn't belong. So we helped do something about it.
Kids who are LGBTQ, or who are of color, or maybe have learning challenges or physical differences, might get bullied the most. We need to work together to decide how safe our school can be.
Our differences are our strengths. We also know that bullies need help too.
But we can't tolerate their behavior. Never ignore bullying. Never stay silent. You will help yourself and help your bully more by speaking up.
Stop, walk away, and tell an adult. Even if the bullying happens online or on your phone, speak up whenever you see, hear about, or experience bullying.
Do it for yourself, for your friends, for the kids you've never even met. Always speak up.
It's time we work together to make our schools safer for everyone.
Wow, that is amazing. How old is he?
Say 10 months.
10 months, and he's got Pick TV at 10 months old. Look at that. That's our brand new member of the Pick TV network, folks. He is so happy.
He is a good happy baby.
Wow.